I've never been a fan of symbolic victories. Look at the word symbolic victory. That means it's the symbol of a victory. It's not a real victory. But I am a fan of poetic justice. And the topic I'm going to talk about, I think both of these terms might apply. I couldn't pick one, so I'm just running with both of them. And I don't make political videos because I don't want to alienate anybody. And also, I really don't have strong political views. I don't align myself with any political party because I don't believe any one political party could fully represent everything that I believe. I don't think they could fully represent anything that anybody believes. And I think it's dangerous to align yourself up with one because once you pick one of these political parties, it actually becomes part of your identity. And once something becomes part of your identity, it's hard to separate yourself from it. I'll give you a good example. I'm a Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan since the early 90s. And the Cowboys haven't even won a playoff game in, almost 30 years? Why would anybody be a Cowboys fan? Because I picked this team a long time ago, and now it's part of my identity. Now, granted, being a Cowboys fan doesn't have the consequences of political identity, but it's a good representation of what happens once we pick one of these sides. So I really stay away from that, and I encourage other people to do so as well. So that being said, if I did have any political views, honestly, it's simple. I believe in smaller government and I do believe in free markets, and I don't expect everybody to agree with that, but that's about the extent of my political views. So if you think about it, I actually kind of lean conservative, and I use that word lean cautiously. That being said, I'm going to start off this video with this story real quick. I remember when I was little, I used to watch this cartoon called King Arthur and the Knights. And I remember in that cartoon, there was an episode where the king was sick. And when the king got sick, all of a sudden, like the crop started failing, the buildings started falling apart, the roads started falling apart. They started being attacked by their enemies and everything. And the moral of that story of that episode was, as the king went, so went the land, and you look at the things that are going on in this country. Now, there's some things, and you could blame any administration for these kind of things, and that's what people do. It'd be the equivalent of me if you bring up, whoever won the last Super Bowl compared to the Cowboys. I'll bring up the Super Bowls that the Cowboys won that they didn't win. It's a poor argument, but that would justify me still continuing to be a Cowboys fan. And that's what this administration does. And every administration is guilty of it, but not to this extent. A lot of their argument is mistakes that the previous administrations made, which I'm not a fan of either. Well, this one thing that they did, and this is the topic I want to talk about, this reflecting pool, should have been an easy win. Nobody was worried about it. It wasn't at the top of anybody's list of what needs to be fixed in this country. They went after it because it was going to be symbolic. Hey, we made this Washington or this national monument look better. And the previous administration didn't. Well, they drained it. They hired a contractor, which this was a big support of this administration, and it wasn't bid out the way contracts are supposed to be done in this country with our government. And he has a questionable past. It was overpriced. I think everybody could agree on that, and everybody could agree that they did a horrible job. And not only did they do a bad job on it, it's worse than it was before. You see it full of this algae and this gunk, and the paint is peeling. And the iron, and this is the ultimate irony of this. It's called the reflecting pool. It should have been an easy win for this administration. And to me, what they did with this is a reflection of everything that they've touched. The fact that it's called the reflecting pool, if you don't see the irony, poetic justice, and symbolic victory in that, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, I don't make these kind of videos. I don't like to speak on these things, but this is just the elephant in the room. I hope y'all are paying attention to this, though. I really do. Thank y'all for watching my videos, and y'all have a good day.